Greetings, everyone. I just wanted to share a few of my thoughts on all the covering up of crimes in Scientology. It is so obvious how many crimes have been covered up, and I often wonder how much some of these police officers are actually participating in the crimes themselves. I mean, really, when you think about all of these things going on with Scientology, and it goes on in other places, but I want to focus on Scientology. Not that I am okay with anything that some of these cops are doing, but it is very easy for all of us, either never-ins or second gens or ex-Scientologists, to think, oh, the cops need to just do this. They need to just clean this up, do that. I don't think it's that easy for them. I'm not saying what they're doing is okay, but it's like some of us are putting all the responsibility on the police officers, and I think that that's a damn big job, don't you guys think? Especially when it appears that the FBI is not even really... One, the FBI is not concerned, and I personally don't think the FBI is really, truly, honestly investigating anything. They are complicit, they are accepting of the crimes going on. So, I remember someone had stated that none of the L.A.P.D. cops really wanted to be the ones covering Scientology, as their security. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense. But I also think that when there's corruption, dishonesty, payoffs, gifts in kind, you are going to draw the more seedy, shady, dishonest police officers. It's law of attraction. Like attracts like. Just like those nasty city council members that were yawning and acting bored with L.A. Audit. That was disgusting. Like, I would really think there should be some type of repercussions for them doing what they did to her in plain sight. So, anyways, I feel like it's going to be very interesting to see what happens regarding all of these lawsuits being filed on crimes in Scientology. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in all these lawsuits filed against the L.A.P.D. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with all of the lawsuits filed against City of Los Angeles or Hollywood. I mean, we know they have a lot of money, but I do think that it's like if you keep throwing these little pebbles, it's going to change where the water sits, So if there's more people throwing little pebbles, eventually it's going to turn. I mean, I'm optimistic. I don't think things are going to happen the way any of us would like to see it happen. I mean, look at what happened with the Nickelodeon. What else? Well, there's so many things going on with the children in Hollywood. If you guys think that that's like a coincidence, I think not. And I will never condone or support police officers that are being complacent or passive in the covering up of crimes against children, ever. They can keep trying to play dumb, but they know what's going on. And I often wonder how many are involved in these kinds of things themselves. So, because at the end of the day, anyone that is willing to hurt children or allowing these things to go on with full knowledge. I always think birds of a feather. And I do wonder how many decent police officers, and I really do wonder about that. Just go look into, what's his name? I can't think of the police officer's name right now. A police officer that was looking into the gang R-ing that was committed by L.A.P.D. officers. Tipping. Officer Tipping. And then he allegedly had a training accident. You guys know. If anybody wants to go do more research, it would be interesting to see what police officers were there at that training event, that accident. Because Officer Tipping was investigating crimes committed by Los Angeles police officers accused of gang R-ing a woman. Yes. So I know not all officers are doing that, but I just wanted to share the things that was on my mind. It's going to be very interesting to see how things begin to turn. I believe they are going to turn. Things are not going to happen the way we want them to. It never does. It never does. Because if you have money, you can MURDER children, you can RAPE children, you can do sacrifices, you can do whatever you want if you have money in this realm, unfortunately. I don't think that any type of energy doing that sort of thing is going to walk away unscathed. I really don't. I don't believe that. Some people are like, oh, well, they'll get karma in the next life. Please. Please. I don't want to hear it. But, yeah, so anyways, it's going to be interesting to see who continues to stand up with a big smile on their face, knowing all of this information that's coming out about the children being R-ed repeatedly, being blamed, and then punished further for those same things. What kind of human being would stand up and say, oh, that's okay to do, and act all stupid and dumb? Like the police officer that had threw Michael on the ground for no reason. And I just don't, there's certain channels I just don't listen to anymore. I want nothing to do with them when they comment on certain things. But, and again, really, it's not only the police, it's not only their responsibility to do things. Like it was interesting, I had watched one of Confident Chris's videos just for a little while. I can't watch these videos like 9 to 10 hours a day anymore. I can't. I love them, but it's too much. And I've got to do things in my own life. But Confident Chris was telling this police officer, I don't know what his name is, about the planters being in the way, not allowing emergency vehicles to go through. And this officer went through like 50 ignoramus statements about, well, you have to understand that's not us. It goes all the way to the top, and blah, 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 and da, 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 da. And you know, really, when you think about it, it's not the police. It's not their job to do everything. It's just not. But it was just what irritated me about it was that he was just acting really ignorant. It would take him like 1 to 2 minutes to make a phone call to the right person. And I'm just thinking from what I've witnessed in the L.A.P.D., and sure, I've only seen like one tiny little fraction of what goes on, but honestly, I've seen enough. And it does seem there's just such a dark energy, just evil, demonic, narcissistic kinds of behaviors that I don't trust. I've never seen so much gaslighting in my life, ever. And lying, just straight up lying about things. So I know not all LAPD are bad. I know that. And I think that there's going to be certain individuals, whether they're LAPD or whether they're people, city workers, whether they're people at Child Protective Services, whether there's people at the Immigration Services, there's going to be tiny little fragments of things that happen, and it's going to just start the house of cards falling. And I personally think the house of cards are falling already. And again, we want to see it happen. I mean, I could say for myself, we want to see things happen the way we want to see them happen. But it just doesn't always go like that, you know? And I've heard stories, I don't want to get too detailed, but I've heard stories of various police officers winking at certain people. And I think it does make me think, you know what I mean? Like, is there like a small fraction of them like thinking fuck Scientology, you know, we're gonna start doing our part. You know, police officers worry about their pensions, they worry about their retirement, they worry about making a living. You know, imagine you have like a certain amount of years like put into it, that it's almost like you're stuck, you know. So I do have to wonder how much is going on behind the scenes that we don't know. I can only hope. I can hope. Because, you know, right now as we speak, there are little young children, 3 and 4 years old, being told by their parents, their Scientology parents, to not be banky, which means like if they're crying or something. They are also being told to get their KRs in. I mean, it's just, it's awful. And I do understand a lot of these parents are under serious mind control, but come on, man, like seriously. You're supposed to give your child love. So, yeah, anyways, it's going to also be interesting to see what kind of changes happen in the city council office. Because really, in the Hollywood division, because really it's so obvious that these fools are the ones getting paid off. They're all dirty. And to me, when you see all this dirtiness, that's narcissism. Because narcissists don't care about anybody except themselves. They don't care. And that's not even to bring in the whole dark occultist satanic element, because we know that's there. And in all fairness to some of the Satanists, you guys don't understand how deep this stuff goes. Some of these Satanists would love nothing more than to get out of it. You guys don't understand what they go through and how a lot of them don't want to be there. So it's really easy for people to point the finger. But it's going to be very interesting. I think personally there's going to be so many lawsuits coming out in the near future that it's, even though Scientology does still have a lot of money, their power is starting to crumble. I mean, think about the ignorance of putting these at the Blue Building. First of all, they're getting away with all types of violations, not following laws, not following rules, to name, just to name a few things. But it looks so ignorant to have that cloth, whatever that cloth, like they have at doctor's offices, like covering the street. I mean, like, it's a fire hazard, dude. I mean, on a very, like, dry, hot summer day, that's a fire hazard. Makes them look real crazy. So anyways, that's it. I really hope some of these LAPD officers and detectives stand up and work with the FBI, if the FBI is going to do anything. But we the people are speaking out, and we're not going to stop. And some of these Scientologists don't understand the depths of the mind control that they're under. But anytime that you're allowing or participating in abusing children, I don't feel any compassion or care for you. I care about your children in there. So have a good day, everyone. Peace.